When money comes from God, keep quiet and stay wise. Listen carefully. When your season of abundance finally arrives, when what you prayed for in silence begins to show itself in your hands, when the drought turns into rivers and your empty hands begin to overflow, that is not the time to shout. That is the time to bow. The loudest worship is not always the one that people hear. It is the one that is expressed through your discipline, your humility, and your silence. When money comes from God, you don't boast, you build. You don't parade your blessings, you protect them with wisdom. For many, money becomes a trap, not because money is evil, but because the heart loses direction once it tastes prosperity. The blessing that was meant to lift them becomes the reason they fall. But the one who understands the source knows that money is not the price God is. Money is only the evidence that God has trusted you with something bigger than yourself. It is a test of maturity, not a certificate of success. It is God's way of saying, I have watched you in the valley, now let me see you on the mountain. When God blesses you, silence becomes a shield. You must learn to move quietly, because not everyone who claps for you wants your blessing to multiply. Some smile but pray in secret that you fall. Some say congratulations, but in their heart they plot your downfall. And so God gives the wise a silent spirit when He begins to lift them. He teaches them the beauty of being hidden even while they rise. Do not announce your wealth. Let your peace announce it. Do not display your prosperity. Let your discipline display it. Because when God gives, it's not for the world to see, it's for His purpose to be fulfilled through you. There is a season when you cry out to God for provision. You fast, you pray, you wait, and then one day doors open, business flows, ideas expand, opportunities multiply, the accounts that once read zero begin to overflow, and your spirit rejoices. But hear me, this is the moment when spiritual maturity is tested. Many can praise God when they have nothing, but few can stay humble when they have everything. God watches how you handle wealth the same way. He watched how you handled waiting. When you had nothing, you were on your knees. Now that you have something, do you still bow? When money comes from God, it carries an assignment. Every coin, every opportunity, every open door is tied to purpose. Money given by God is not meant to make you boast. It is meant to make you build. Build your family, build your future, build others, build what glorifies God. Money in the hands of the wise multiplies life, but money in the hands of the proud multiplies destruction. So when God fills your hands, ask not, how much do I have? Ask God, what do you want me to do with this? Because divine provision always comes with a divine instruction. Silence is a form of gratitude. When God elevates you financially, silence tells heaven, I am grateful and I am guarding what you've given me. You see, not everything that is blessed needs to be broadcasted. The wise learn to hide their treasures, not out of fear, but out of discernment. There are spiritual vultures who feed on the noise of those who cannot keep quiet. When you talk too much about your blessing, you open spiritual doors for envy to enter. But when you stay silent, God Himself becomes your God. When God gives you money, do not make it your new master. Let it remain your servant. Do not let your wealth speak louder than your worship. Do not let prosperity replace purity. Do not let luxury silence prayer. Do not let abundance dull your hunger for the presence of God. For the true danger of wealth is not the money itself, it is the arrogance that can follow it. The same hands that once begged God for a miracle can become the hands that forget Him. But the one who stays humble, quiet, and wise becomes a channel of divine increase. God will keep pouring because He knows that your heart will never worship what your hands hold. There are people who lose everything the moment they start showing off. They post what they should protect. They talk about what they should treasure in silence. They attract envy, jealousy, and the eyes of those whose hearts are darkened by comparison. That is why when your blessing comes, stay quiet. Let people wonder how you prospered. Let them guess how it happened. You owe no one an explanation for what God is doing in your life. Because when you explain too much, you invite contamination into what God is still building. When money comes from God, it does not come to destroy your character. It comes to reveal it. The humble will become more generous, but the proud will become unbearable. Money only multiplies what's inside you. So if your heart is right, your wealth will bless many. But if your heart is corrupt, your wealth will destroy you. That is why God delays prosperity for some people, not because He doesn't want them to prosper, but because He wants their hearts to mature first. He wants them to learn contentment before increase. He wants them to learn gratitude before abundance. He wants them to learn silence before success. Be careful not to let your blessing speak louder than your faith. The richest people in spirit are often the quietest in speech. They understand that wealth is not for showing off, it is for showing wisdom. The one who truly understands prosperity never brags, never competes, never compares. They know that real success is peace, real prosperity is balance. Real wealth is having God's favor, not people's approval. When money comes from God, it comes with peace. But when money comes from pride, it comes with problems. You must also understand that not every blessing is meant to be shared with everyone. Some things God gives you in secret because He wants to protect you. There are blessings meant for your eyes only. There are doors that are not to be announced until they are secured. There are opportunities that lose their power when they are spoken too soon. So stay quiet when God begins to lift you. Learn to move in silence while heaven shouts over you. The greatest power is in hidden progress. The strongest faith is in quiet obedience. Some people destroy their own favor by talking too much. They expose what should be concealed. They boast about what should be protected. And the moment they do, opposition rises, enemies awaken, and jealousy begins to work. But the wise, those who walk closely with God, understand that silence is safety. When God starts blessing you financially, even your friends will change. Some will begin to distance themselves because they can't handle your elevation. Others will draw near with the hidden motives. That's why you must let God teach you discernment as your wealth grows. Not everyone deserves access to what God gave you. Never let money make you forget where you came from. The same valley that taught you patience must remain in your memory. Remember the nights you prayed with tears, the seasons you had nothing but faith, the moments when you survived on hope alone. Let those memories keep you grounded when you have more than enough. Because the moment you forget your past, you lose the humility that protects your future. Money can build houses, but it cannot build character. It can buy comfort, but it cannot buy peace. Only God gives peace, and peace is what sustains prosperity. When God blesses you, your responsibility increases. Wealth from God is not a decoration, it's an assignment. It means you must now handle resources on behalf of heaven. You become a manager, not an owner. You become a steward of divine trust. So use your money to bless the poor quietly. Use it to lift others without letting your name be known. True generosity is done in silence. The left hand should not know what the right hand is doing, because the moment you are giving becomes a show, it loses its reward. Give quietly. Bless silently. Let your actions speak where your words remain silent. When money comes from God, it brings direction. It doesn't confuse you. It doesn't make you restless. It doesn't make you arrogant. It gives you clarity. You start to see that the purpose of prosperity is not luxury, it's legacy. God doesn't make you rich so you can sit in pride. He makes you rich so you can stand in influence. He doesn't fill your account so you can boast. He fills it so you can become a channel of provision for others. But you can only handle this level of blessing if your heart remains humble and your lips remain quiet. There is a deep connection between humility and preservation. What you hide, God protects. What you expose prematurely, you risk losing. The seed that grows in silence becomes the strongest tree. So when your financial breakthrough arrives, guard it with the silence until it is rooted deep enough to survive storms. Move with wisdom, dress with dignity, spend with balance, speak with caution, walk with humility. Let your wealth be seen in your peace, not in your possessions. Understand this: when you receive money from God, your enemies will awaken. Not because you hurt them, but because your elevation exposed their envy. That's why silence is not weakness, it's warfare. It is how you protect your spirit from unnecessary attacks. Do not argue with those who misunderstand your blessing. Do not try to prove your worth. The proof is already in the peace God gives you. The wise do not defend their success. They demonstrate it through calmness, consistency, and gratitude. There will be moments when people question how you suddenly rose. They will say, "How did it happen?" They will gossip. They will assume. Let them. You do not owe explanations for divine favor. The same God who blessed you will silence their doubts. Keep walking, and keep worshiping in silence. The day will come when your results speak so loudly that your silence will become your loudest testimony. The one who talks too much about wealth invites both admiration and attack. But the one who stays hidden draws divine protection. The quiet rich, the humble successful, the unseen giver, these are the ones God continues to trust because He knows they value purpose over publicity. He knows they seek His will, not people's applause. So when God blesses you financially, close your mouth and open your spirit. Ask for wisdom to manage what you've received. Ask for strength to remain humble. Ask for grace to use it well. Some people lose everything because they wanted everyone to know they had something. Their blessing became their burden because they could not stay silent. But you, when your time comes, stay calm. Let your heart whisper gratitude, not your mouth shout it before men. God loves the sound of hidden gratitude. The quiet thank you spoken in secret is more powerful than 1,000 public boasts because it comes from purity, not performance. When God brings financial abundance, it is also season of testing. He observes how you treat people who have less. He watches if your tone changes. He listens if your heart still prays the same. He notices if your giving still flows. If your character remains steady, He increases you more. But if your pride grows faster than your gratitude, He withdraws His hand. Because God's blessings are not permanent if pride enters. Only the humble can sustain divine wealth. Remember this: God never gives money to impress you. He gives it to empower you. He doesn't make you rich to compete. He makes you rich to complete His purpose. So when you have wealth, use it as a weapon of goodness. Pay school fees for those who can afford it. Feed those who are hungry. Support dreams. Heal wounds. Restore hope. But do it quietly. The world doesn't need to know the details of your obedience. Only God needs to see it. Because the secret place is where blessings multiply. Even in wealth, remain disciplined. Don't let comfort make you lazy. Keep working, keep planning, keep growing. Wealth without vision disappears fast. Money from God demands structure, stewardship, and spiritual awareness. You must learn when to spend, when to save, and when to sow. The unwise scatter what they should have planted. The wise invest what they should have stored. Be strategic, be prayerful, be intentional. That's how wealth becomes legacy. Your silence will not only protect your money, it will preserve your peace. You will sleep better when fewer people know your plans. You will live safer when your progress is private. You will walk freer when your success is silent. The noise of the world cannot touch those who dwell in quiet wisdom. So when the blessing comes, guard your environment. Do not let wrong people enter your new season. Some are drawn not to your heart, but to your harvest. That's why discernment is crucial when abundance arrives. Learn to say less and observe more. Listen to how people speak about others who have risen, because that is exactly how they will speak about you. Do not correct them. Simply note who can handle your success and who cannot. Sometimes silence is the greatest filter. Those who truly love you will celebrate you quietly. Those who envy you will reveal themselves through their discomfort. Your job is not to fix them, it is to stay wise and keep walking. Money from God is sacred. It carries His fingerprint. Handle it with reverence. Do not waste it on vanity or impressing others. Use it to fund the purpose. Use it to sow into what has eternal value. Use it to bring light where there is darkness. That is how divine prosperity multiplies. It is never about spending, it's about sending. Sending help, sending hope, sending healing. Your wealth becomes your ministry when handled with wisdom. And when people start to ask why, you so quiet about your success. Smile and say, because not everything God does in me is for public eyes. Let your humility confuse the proud. Let your discipline convict the careless. Let your silence become a sermon that preaches louder than your words. That is the posture of those who are trusted with divine increase. They shine quietly, build steadily, and give secretly. You must understand too that true wisdom with money is not in how much you earn, but in how much peace you maintain. Some people have millions but can't sleep. Others have little but rest deeply. Why? Because peace is not in the numbers, it's in the source. When money comes from God, it carries calmness. When it comes from self, it carries struggle. So protect your peace more than your profit. If wealth steals your rest, it is no longer a blessing, it has become a burden. There will come a time when God will tell you to give in secret what He gave in abundance. Do not resist. That giving is not loss, it is a test. Every seed you plant in silence will return multiplied. Those who brag about giving have already received their reward, but those who give in silence are storing treasures in eternity. God sees what others do not, and He rewards what others cannot. Stay wise when God prospers you. Don't let every opportunity excite you. Some offers are traps disguised as blessings. Some partnerships are delays wrapped in promises. Pray before you sign anything. Consult God before you commit to anyone. Money that comes from God can easily be lost when you connect it to the wrong people. Be selective. Guard your atmosphere. Your peace is worth more than any profit. When God elevates you, don't change your values, strengthen them. Keep the same humility that brought you this far. Keep the same gratitude that sustained you in lack. Keep the same faith that carried you through darkness. Because the danger of success is forgetting who guided you there. If you keep God first, He will keep everything else in order. If you forget Him, even the strongest structure will crumble. Silence is not weakness, it is strength under control. It is the mark of those who understand the language of heaven. God often moves quietly, and those who reflect Him move the same. The ocean makes no noise, yet it holds infinite power. So when God fills your life with abundance, let your calmness reveal your confidence in Him. Speak only when necessary, and let your fruit speak for you. One day, people will look at your life and say, "How did it happen?" And you will smile, not because you want to explain, but because you know that only God could have done it. That's the beauty of silent prosperity. It glorifies God more than words ever could. When your peace increases, when your joy grows, when your life becomes stable and balanced, people will see that your wealth was not from manipulation or luck, it was from divine alignment. When money comes from God, it is not merely provision, it is purpose wrapped in responsibility. It is heaven's trust placed into human hands. When that divine supply enters your life, understand this truth. Not everything that looks like a success is meant to be shown. Some blessings are sacred, meant to be hidden until their fruit matures. If you reveal them too early, you expose what is still being shaped by the hands of God. When God gives you money, He is not only giving you comfort, He is testing your capacity to remain faithful in silence. He wants to see if you will still depend on Him when your wallet is full. If your voice will still whisper prayers when your needs seem met. There are seasons when God withholds money, not to punish you, but to prepare you. He hides wealth behind the work so that by the time you receive it, your character can carry. Because wealth in immature hands becomes a curse, not a blessing. But when the heart is molded in humility, when the spirit is trained in discipline, and when the mouth is taught silence, then wealth becomes a tool of divine influence. It builds, it heals, it uplifts, and it multiplies good. That is why when the blessing finally arrives, silence must remain your companion. Speak only when God instructs. Move only when God directs. Spend only where God approves. For every coin from heaven carries a divine instruction attached to it. Money that comes from God has a fragrance. It smells of peace. It does not cause confusion. It does not demand compromise. It enters quietly but changes everything around you. It aligns your steps, restores your dignity, and empowers your vision. And yet, even in that peace, God watches how you move. He listens to your tone when you speak to others. He observes your attitude toward those still waiting for their breakthrough, because He knows how you treat people. In your abundance determines whether your increase continues or ceases. The humble attract more, while the proud repel divine favor. The heart that says, "God, this is yours. I am only the steward," become the magnet for sustained prosperity. If God can trust you with the money, He can trust you with the influence. And if He can trust you with the influence, He will trust you with the legacy. But it all begins with the restraint, with the wisdom to stay quiet. When the noise of success tempts you to boast, the louder you become, the more you attract the attention of those who do not understand your calling. But when you remain silent, you protect the purity of what God is doing. Silence becomes your armor. It keeps envy far, and it invites divine favor near. Do not let the applause of people deceive you into revealing what God told you to hide. The claps of men can become the chains that trap your destiny. When people start praising your wealth, smile with humility, but never let it enter your spirit. Praise belongs only to God. You may enjoy the blessing, but never take ownership of the glory. For every time you point the glory back to God, you strengthen the roots of your prosperity. You anchor your wealth in heaven's soil, and nothing on earth can uproot it. Some people lose the blessing because they confuse ownership with stewardship. They begin to believe they created their success by their own power, forgetting that it was God who gave the breath, the strength, the wisdom, the opportunities, and the favor. Money without remembrance of God becomes a poison. It blinds the eyes, hardens the heart, and drowns the spirit. But the wise continually remind themselves, everything I have is from God. This simple confession keeps the heart soft and the hand open. The moment you forget that truth, your hand begins to close, and what was flowing begins to stop. The wise man does not chase wealth, he attracts it through alignment with the divine order. When your life honors God, when your character reflects discipline, when your words carry humility, wealth becomes drawn to you naturally. You will not need to manipulate or compete. What is yours will find you, because God Himself is the distributor of resources. And when He releases it into your hands, He expects reverence. You must use it not to dominate others, but to demonstrate wisdom. You must let it become an instrument of peace, not the symbol of pride. The quiet rich are the ones who last. They don't shout about their riches, but their impact speaks across generations. They walk with peace, talk with restraint, and give without noise. They do not need to announce their generosity because heaven announces it for them. That is what happens when money comes from God. It carries a light that cannot be hidden, even when you walk silently. Your presence begins to command respect, not because you are loud, but because you are consistent, calm, and wise. Understand that every divine blessing has a gatekeeper, and that gatekeeper is character. Before God releases great wealth, He tests your attitude toward small amounts. If you complain over little, you will corrupt much. If you are careless with little, you will be reckless with abundance. But when you are faithful in the small, God begins to enlarge your capacity. So when He finally gives you what you prayed for, stay faithful to the same principle that brought you there. The same prayer that opened the door must be the prayer that sustains it. The same discipline that attracted favor must be the discipline that protects it. When God begins to bless you, not everyone will understand. Some will say, you changed. Others will accuse you of pride simply because you now have a peace. Do not argue. Do not defend yourself. Let your fruits speak louder than your explanations. Let your wisdom answer their noise. For those who truly walk with God know that prosperity is not about showing, it's about shining. You shine through your integrity. You shine through your patience. You shine through the way you handle power quietly. Every coin that enters your hand should have a mission. Ask yourself, is this money fulfilling God's purpose in my life? If it is only feeding vanity, you are mismanaging a divine resource. But if it is building, helping, uplifting, and blessing, then you are multiplying what God entrusted you with. Remember, money that fulfills purpose multiplies itself. But money that feeds ego eventually evaporates. The wise do not chase more. They manage well. That is how divine provision sustains itself. There are moments when God will ask you to give secretly, to bless someone without your name being mentioned. Obey that whisper. It is in those quiet acts that heaven measures the sincerity of your heart. You do not need an audience to be obedient. The greatest rewards come from the seeds planted in silence. While others chase recognition, chase righteousness, while others seek fame, seek favor, while others count followers, count blessings. When you learn to keep quiet after receiving wealth, you also protect your spiritual hearing. Noise distorts discernment. If you start boasting and talking too much, you lose the stillness needed to hear divine instruction. But in silence, God continues to speak. He will guide you on where to invest, who to trust, when to give, and when to wait. That is how He preserves those He prospers. The loud ones fall quickly because they mistake excitement for direction. The quiet ones rise steadily because they move with divine timing. The wealthy who remain humble understand that their real treasure is not in the bank, it is in their peace, their health, and their relationship with God. They do not measure success by possession, but by purpose. They may have gold, but they serve God, not gold. And because of that heart posture, their riches continue to serve them rather than enslave them. The moment you start serving money, it becomes your master. But when you make money serve God's plan, it becomes your instrument. When God elevates you financially, you will notice that He starts removing certain people from your circle. Do not resist it. Some cannot handle your new season. Some will start comparing instead of celebrating. Some will secretly envy what you carry. God removes them not because you hate them, but because He wants to protect you. Learn to detach peacefully. You do not need to explain every distance. Let silence do the separation. When you stay quiet, you allow God to fight the unseen battles around your blessing. Always remember that the greatest enemy of wealth is pride. Pride whispers, you did this, but wisdom whispers, God allowed this. The moment you start believing the former, your downfall begins. Pride steals what gratitude sustains. Gratitude is the spiritual lock that keeps your blessing from leaking away. So every morning you wake up in abundance, whisper quietly, thank you, God, I am nothing without you. That whisper carries more power than any public declaration. It invites God to stay involved in your success. True. Prosperity is not measured by the number of possessions, but by the depth of peace in your soul. If your wealth costs you your peace, it is not from God. If it makes you anxious, competitive, and restless, it has become a trap. But when the source is divine, peace flows naturally. You sleep deeply, you give freely, you live calmly. That is the signature of wealth from heaven. It blesses without burden. And yet, even as you walk in peace, be alert. The enemy of your soul will try to use money to distract you from purpose. He will tempt you with comparison, competition, and comfort. But you must remember, purpose is greater than possession. The mission God gave you is worth more than the lifestyle you dream of. Money is a tool to serve your calling, not a throne to sit on. Let your wealth work for your destiny, not against it. When God gives money, He gives it with the expectation of multiplication. Not just multiplication in numbers, but multiplication in impact. What He gives you is meant to touch others. Your wealth is meant to become light in someone else's darkness. But you can only achieve that if you remain wise and silent. Because the moment you begin to seek praise for what you give, the spiritual reward diminishes. Stay quiet and let heaven keep the record. God's record keeping is more reliable than human recognition. In the stillness of prosperity, you find the highest form of worship, obedience. When your heart says, God, even in abundance, I am yours, that is worship. When your lips stay sealed, but your actions echo generosity, that is worship. When you could boast, but choose gratitude, that is worship. When you have more than enough, but still live with discipline, that is worship. True worship is not in sound, it is in submission. So when money comes from God, guard your heart like a sacred garden. Do not let pride grow there. Water it with gratitude. Fence it with humility. Keep the weeds of comparison away. And watch how God continues to add more, not because you asked, but because He can trust you. He adds to those who stay faithful in silence. And if there comes a time when your wealth attracts critics, stay calm. Let them talk. You do not need to justify divine favor. You do not need to explain your growth to those who cannot understand your grace. Silence is your best defense, for in the quiet, God Himself speaks on your behalf. He will turn your critics into witnesses. He will turn your silence into a testimony that cannot be denied. Because at the end of it all, the wealth that comes from God is not just about possession, it is about preparation. He blesses you so you can be a blessing. He fills you so you can pour out. He enriches you so you can extend His goodness across the earth. And the one who understands this truth never lets money corrupt their peace or contaminate their purpose. They stay rooted in silence, clothed in wisdom, and covered by divine grace. When money comes from God, the wisest thing you can do is stay quiet, stay grateful, and stay grounded. Because true wealth is not measured by what fills your account, it is measured by what fills your heart. When the blessing finally reaches your hands, let humility rise higher than your possessions. Let gratitude speak louder than your success. And let your peace shine brighter than your prosperity. God gives not to inflate your ego, but to increase your impact. He blesses you not to make you boast, but to make you a vessel of His abundance. So protect what He gives you with silence. Guard it with wisdom. Build with purpose. And remember always, the wealth that comes from God is not a display. It is a divine trust. Handle it with reverence. Manage it with discipline. Multiply it with integrity. Because when you stay humble in prosperity, when you keep God at the center of your abundance, no storm can shake you, no envy can touch you, and no loss can destroy you. Those who boast fade quickly, but those who stay silent rise steadily. Those who brag attract trouble, but those who move wisely attract the divine protection. Those who worship money lose peace, but those who worship God gain everything. So walk in quiet strength. Let your success whisper. Let your heart remain low, even as your blessings rise high. And never forget, the same God who gave it can give more again and again to the one who remains faithful, silent, and wise. Listen closely, for this message is not an accident. Something in the unseen has been stirring. Angels have been moving with urgency. They are alerting, whispering, warning about your eyes. Yes, your eyes. For your eyes are not merely windows to the world. They are the gates of your spirit. They are the lenses through which your soul perceives reality, the portals through which either light or darkness may enter. The angels of God are watching how humanity uses its eyes, and they are alarmed. They are sending signals, they are crying out. Because what you allow your eyes to behold determines what your heart becomes. You must understand that in the realm of the spirit, sight is sacred. The first thing God gives to a chosen soul is vision, not physical, but divine sight. And the first thing the enemy tries to corrupt is that very sight. When angels speak of your eyes, they are not merely referring to the flesh that blinks and gazes. They speak of your focus, your attention, your perception, your discernment. For wherever your eyes go, your soul follows. And if your eyes become dim with the worldly distractions, your spirit will lose direction. There is a divine urgency in this hour. The angels are alerting because humanity is being blinded by images that steal holiness, by screens that feed corruption, by sights that numb the conscience. They are seeing how eyes that were meant to behold the beauty of creation have become addicted to vanity, to comparison, to lust, to deceit. They are seeing how many have exchanged divine vision for the illusions of men. And the angels are sending messages, stirring the hearts of those who still listen to God, saying, guard your eyes, for they determine the purity of your spirit. When God formed you, He placed within you not only the ability to see, but the responsibility to choose what to see. He gave you dominion not only over the earth, but over your own attention. What you behold, you become. If your eyes are fixed on fear, fear will grow. If your eyes are fixed on temptation, temptation will conquer. But if your eyes are fixed on God, light will flood your being, peace will guard your mind, and wisdom will guide your steps. Angels are alerting about your eyes because your destiny depends on what you focus on. Some of you have lost your divine assignments not because you are not anointed, not because you are not chosen, but because your eyes wandered from purpose to distraction. You were called to gaze upon the promise, but you kept staring at the pain. You were meant to fix your vision on divine direction, but you became fascinated by worldly noise. God says today, lift up your eyes again, for the angels have seen that you are being pulled away from what truly matters. They are blowing the trumpet in the spirit, calling you to awaken your vision again. When your eyes become contaminated, your discernment weakens. You stop seeing what God sees. You begin to misjudge people, misunderstand seasons, misinterpret signs. The eyes of your spirit start to blur, and what was once clear becomes confusing. The angels are alerting because many have traded divine sight for digital sight. They spend hours staring into the glow of screens, but minutes gazing into the presence of God. Their eyes are being trained to see everything but truth. But today, heaven is speaking, cleanse your vision. There is power in the gaze of a person who sees through the lens of God. When you see life through divine eyes, storms no longer scare you. When you see through divine eyes, even delay becomes preparation. Angels are assigned to those who look toward light, but they cannot walk with those who insist on staring into darkness. You cannot pray for divine protection and yet open your eyes to corruption every day. You cannot ask for spiritual strength while your vision is filled with filth. Your eyes must align with your faith. The angels are alerting because sight controls destiny. When you start to look at what God wants you to see, everything begins to shift. Even your atmosphere changes. The angels are urging you to protect your gaze because the enemy knows if he can corrupt your eyes, he can capture your heart. He knows if he can distract your vision, he can derail your calling. He knows if he can keep you staring at what wounds you, you'll never move toward what heals you. There are two kinds of sight, natural and divine. Natural sight sees what is visible. Divine sight sees what is eternal. Natural sight sees obstacles. Divine sight sees opportunities. Natural sight is swayed by appearances. Divine sight is rooted in truth. The angels are alerting you because you have been looking too long through the lens of the natural. You are seeing failure where God sees preparation, rejection where God sees redirection, endings where God sees beginnings. Heaven is saying, change your vision before your vision changes you. When your spiritual eyes awaken, you start to discern what others overlook. You begin to notice how God moves subtly through the ordinary. You start to see warning signs before disaster strikes. Angels are positioned around those who keep their eyes aligned with God's purpose. They will whisper to your spirit, look away from that. Turn here, wait there. But if your attention is consumed by the noise of the world, you will not hear their alerts. Your eyes were designed to recognize divine timing. When you fix your eyes on God, you start to sense when to move, when to pause, when to speak, when to stay silent. But when your gaze is clouded by anxiety and desire, you act outside of alignment. That is why angels are alerting now to bring you back to focus. They are guarding the chosen who are about to step into new seasons, but who risk losing direction because of what they keep watching. Some of you are wondering why your peace has faded. It is not because God has left you, but because your eyes have wandered. You are feeding your spirit the wrong images. You are absorbing energies that suffocate faith. You cannot expect tranquility while consuming chaos. The angels see it. They know what constant exposure to negativity does to the soul. They are stirring the sensitive hearts to fast not only from food but from harmful visuals, from toxic comparisons, from the endless scroll of vanity that darkens discernment. Every time you open your eyes, you are either building faith or draining it. Every glance has spiritual weight. That is why God watches not just what you do, but what you look at. Your gaze reveals your hunger. What you stare at the longest becomes your master. Angels are alerting because too many have become enslaved to what they see rather than empowered by what they believe. They look at others' lives and feel less. They look at past pain and lose hope. They look at the glitter of the world and forget the glory of God. But there is still hope. God is calling you to purify your sight, to restore your divine focus. When your eyes become sanctified, your whole life changes. Light floods your mind. Peace returns. Power awakens. You start seeing beyond appearances into purpose. You begin to notice that every delay was a design, every detour a direction, every disappointment a divine setup. You see the invisible hand of God orchestrating even the moments that seemed meaningless. Angels are alerting because your vision determines your vibration. What you focus on expands. If you fix your eyes on what is missing, you will live in lack. If you fix your eyes on what God has promised, you will live in abundance. Heaven responds to focus. The realm of the Spirit moves when a soul looks steadfastly toward divine truth. Angels rush to assist those whose eyes are aligned with God's light. Do not allow the enemy to use your eyes as instruments of destruction. He wants you to look back like Lot's wife, to gaze at what God has already delivered you from. He wants you to keep replaying the past so that you never step into the future. But God is saying, lift your eyes from the ashes. I am building something new. The angels are ready to lead you forward, but your focus must change. Stop watching who left. Stop watching who betrayed you. Stop watching who seems ahead. Fix your gaze on the divine timeline. Some of you are tired because your eyes are exhausted. You are seeing too much of the world and too little of God. Your mind is overstimulated. Your spirit undernourished. The angels are calling you to rest your eyes upon the stillness of faith. They are calling you to meditate on what uplifts, to fill your vision with light. For in stillness, clarity returns. When you withdraw your eyes from chaos, you begin to see what was always there, divine order. God uses your eyes to reveal His will. Sometimes He will close one door so your eyes will notice another. Sometimes He will allow darkness so your inner sight may strengthen. Angels are alerting because the next move of God requires sharper vision. You cannot enter the new season with blurred discernment. You must see clearly, see who belongs in your circle, see which path leads to peace, see which opportunity carries divine favor. Do not despise the moments when God blinds you temporarily. When He hides certain things from your view, it is to protect you from premature exposure. When you cannot see the full picture, trust that the angels are arranging it. They guard not only your path, but also your perception. Sometimes divine blindness is divine mercy. For what you cannot yet handle, God conceals until your spirit matures. Angels are alerting about your eyes because sight creates atmosphere. What you allow yourself to behold determines the spiritual climate around you. A person who gazes constantly at negativity invites darkness into their dwelling. But one whose eyes remain on God radiates serenity that even chaos cannot invade. Your eyes are spiritual thermostats. They regulate the temperature of your environment. When you look at light, light fills your space. When you look at despair, despair settles in. Choose wisely what you see. God is raising a generation whose eyes will no longer be seduced by illusion, a people whose sight will pierce through deception. The angels are working now to awaken seers, men and women who will not only look but perceive, for perception is the power to interpret what you see. Many look but few perceive. The angels are saying, you have looked enough. Now learn to perceive. When your perception changes, your reality changes, you stop calling every delay a curse and begin to call it alignment. You stop seeing rejection as punishment and start seeing it as redirection. You stop staring at the closed door and start noticing the open window. Angels are attracted to gratitude. They move with speed toward those whose eyes remain thankful even in trial. Your eyes were not created to dwell on darkness. Every time you stare too long at pain, it multiplies. Every time you replay betrayal, it deepens. The angels are alerting because your healing begins when you redirect your gaze. Look at how far God has already brought you. Look at the subtle ways He has protected you when you didn't even know it. Look at the strengths that survived every storm. There are miracles in your memories. if you look with the divine sight. Some of you have been praying for guidance, but guidance begins with the focus. Angels guide the eyes of those who are still enough to see the signs. But if your gaze is always restless, if you are looking at everything except what God is showing, you will miss the cues. Slow down. Watch how God speaks, through patterns, through people, through silence. Watch how He reveals direction, not in chaos, but in calm. There is a sacred discipline in training your eyes to refuse to look at what corrupts, to withdraw from what tempts, to choose light even when darkness seduces. Angels celebrate those who guard their eyes, for every act of restraint increases spiritual power. Every time you turn your eyes from sin, you strengthen your authority. Every time you choose purity over pleasure, you expand your influence in the unseen. Your eyes are the gatekeepers of your destiny. The angels know this, and that is why they are alerting. They know that a single glance can plant a seed of doubt, of desire, of destruction. But the same eyes that can open a door to evil can also unlock divine revelation. What you decide to look at will either imprison you or empower you. When your eyes align with God's will, even your enemies cannot deceive you. You will discern motives before they manifest. You will see traps before you fall. You will perceive counterfeit blessing before you accept them. This is divine sight, and the angels are ready to activate it. But first, you must surrender your focus to God. Do not let the world steal your gaze. Guard it as sacred treasure. Let your eyes dwell on what uplifts, on what strengthens faith. Every time you fix your eyes on hope instead of fear, you honor the God who created you to see beyond appearances. Every time you look for divine fingerprints in your circumstances, the angels rejoice, for you are seeing with the eyes of the Spirit. Your eyes are instruments of prophecy. They reveal where your life is heading. Look long enough at failure, and failure will frame your path. Look long enough at divine promise, and the universe will align to fulfill it. Angels respond to focus the way seeds respond to water. They move toward what you meditate upon. The angels are alerting because time is short. The world is filling the eyes of humanity with deception images that glorify sin, glorify chaos, glorify pride. They know that if they can blind the masses, they can control their hearts. But those who keep their eyes on God will remain untouched. They will see truth where others see confusion. They will see light even in darkness. Do not wait for a crisis to correct your focus. Begin now, each day. Ask yourself, what have my eyes been feeding my soul? Have they looked upon peace or upon noise, upon gratitude or upon envy, upon creation or corruption? Your spiritual diet is determined by your vision. You become what you behold. The angels are moving with intensity now. They are touching the eyes of those who are ready to see differently. Some of you will begin to notice signs you overlooked. Patterns will appear. Insights will emerge. You will feel guided not by sight alone, but by perception. For when the eyes of your spirit awaken, even the ordinary become prophetic. God is preparing you for higher dimensions of clarity. But with greater sight comes greater responsibility. When your vision expands, you must protect it fiercely. You must avoid anything that dulls discernment. Do not entertain gossip, for it clouds perception. Do not indulge jealousy, for it distorts vision. Do not feed fear, for it blinds the spirit. Keep your eyes clear, and your purpose will stay pure. Angels are alerting about your eyes because they know what God is about to show you. New revelations are coming, hidden truths are about to unfold. But they cannot be received through cloudy vision. The clearer your eyes, the deeper your insight, the purer your focus, the louder heaven speaks. You are being prepared to see differently, not with anxiety, but with assurance, not with confusion, but with conviction. The angels are aligning your perspective so you may perceive opportunities disguised as obstacles, blessings hidden in battles, and divine timing concealed within delay. Guard your eyes, for they are sacred instruments of destiny. Keep them lifted toward the light of God, and you will never stumble in darkness. The angels are watching, guiding, protecting. They are alerting, reminding, awakening you to this truth. Your eyes are not mere organs. They are gateways to glory. There comes a moment in every life when God demands that your vision evolve. The angels are stirring your awareness right now, for they know the season has shifted. You cannot walk into what is coming with yesterday's sight. You cannot carry yesterday's vision into tomorrow's divine assignments. The eyes of your spirit must be renewed. They must be sharpened, purified, and aligned with heaven's clarity. For when your sight matures, your destiny accelerates. Angels are not calling your attention to your eyes just for protection. They are calling for transformation. Because once your perception changes, your whole world rearranges. Many people are praying for miracles while their eyes are closed to the signs God has already sent. They ask for confirmation, but they ignore revelation. They cry for direction, but they refuse correction. The angels are alerting because the answer you seek is already visible. If only you would see through the lens of the Spirit. The problem is not absence of light, but blindness of heart. God's guidance surrounds you, but you must learn to recognize it. The same way the sun is always shining even when clouds hide it, divine guidance is always near even when confusion covers your sight. Your task is not to create the vision, it is to clear it. God is refining your eyes because He is preparing you to see beyond appearance. Too long have you judged by surface impressions, by what looks good, what feels easy, what seems promising. But heaven's perspective pierces through illusion. The angels are teaching you to see the invisible truths beneath visible chaos. They are teaching you to discern intentions, not just actions, to perceive divine meaning, not just the external movement. For appearances can deceive, but divine perception never lies. When your eyes become instruments of truth, deception loses its power over you. Manipulators cannot confuse you. Opportunities cannot seduce you. Fear cannot paralyze you. You become a person of divine stability, unmoved by appearances, guided by truth. That is why God must purify your sight, because the next phase of your purpose requires precision. You cannot afford to mistake distraction for destiny or temptation for opportunity. The angels are whispering, see with clarity, move with certainty, act with discernment. Your eyes are holy territory. Guard them with reverence. Every image you allow to linger before your gaze plants a seed in your soul. Seeds of despair or hope, purity or pollution, strength or weakness. The angels are alerting because too many are planting weeds through the gate of their eyes. They watch what drains them and then wonder why they feel empty. They stare at what wounds them and wonder why they hurt. But when your eyes are fixed on God, every glance becomes prayer. Every look becomes an act of worship. Every vision becomes a prophecy of peace. The world will try to steal your attention, because attention is the currency of the Spirit. What you give your eyes to, you give your energy to. If you look constantly at what others have, envy will infect your heart. If you stare at your failures, shame will weaken your courage. But if you fix your gaze upon God's greatness, faith will rise like a flood within you. You will walk in calm authority because your focus will no longer shift with the circumstance. The angels are revealing that spiritual warfare often begins with the vision. Darkness does not first attack your body, it attacks your focus. The enemy aims to distort what you see so you will misjudge what God is doing. He wants you to call delay defeat, to call correction punishment, to call redirection rejection. But heaven declares what you call loss, God calls alignment. Open your eyes and see the divine pattern hidden within the pain. When you look at your challenges through the lens of faith, they lose their power to break you. The angels surround those who see through purpose. They whisper courage to the one who can look at chaos and still declare God is in control. That declaration is not blindness, it is higher sight. It is refusing to let the shadows define the truth. It is seeing through the darkness and finding light that never fades. The angels are alerting because many of God's chosen are being distracted by visual noise, images of comparison, lifestyles of vanity, illusions of success. But God measures success by obedience, not appearance. The angels are repositioning your focus so that your eyes may return to simplicity, to what is eternal, to what truly fulfills. For what your eyes admire, your heart eventually imitates. Choose carefully what you gaze upon, for it will shape the atmosphere of your soul. God is calling you to lift your eyes from the temporary and behold the eternal, to stop being mesmerized by what glitters and start being grounded in what glows from within. The angels are urging you to gaze upon what strengthens the spirit, acts of kindness, moments of gratitude, the quiet beauty of faithfulness. When your eyes are trained on goodness, your life begins to radiate it. There is a sacred moment when the eyes of your understanding open and you realize that nothing is wasted. Even the tears you once cried become light refracted through divine wisdom. The angels are celebrating that awakening, for it marks the rise of a mature soul, one who no longer looks through wounds but through wisdom. Your eyes are being healed to see purpose where you once saw pain. You are being elevated from sight to insight, from looking to knowing. When God begins to anoint your vision, you start to see life differently. You recognize divine fingerprints in coincidences. You perceive hidden lessons in trials. You sense divine timing in delays. The angels assist in this transformation, helping you interpret the language of signs. They open your perception to the sacred rhythm of life. You stop rushing and start trusting. You stop forcing and start flowing. For now you see that everything that comes before your eyes has meaning. When viewed through the lens of faith, the angels are alerting about your eyes because clarity is your compass. Without clarity, even the strong become weary. Confusion drains energy faster than failure. But when you see clearly, when you know what is from God and what is not, peace returns. The mind quiets. Decisions become easier. Faith becomes natural. God never intended for your life to be guided by guesswork. He intended it to be guided by clear vision. That is why your sight must remain pure. Many people fall not because they are weak, but because they see wrongly. They mistake counterfeit blessings for divine gifts, illusions for miracles, distractions for destiny. But when your eyes are tuned to God's wavelength, you will discern immediately when something is not from Him. You will feel the dissonance in your spirit. You will know by peace or by unease whether something carries divine approval. This is not superstition. It is a spiritual sensitivity. The angels nurture this gift in those who are willing to remain pure in sight. When your eyes are holy, your path becomes luminous. When your perception aligns with the truth, every step glows with a divine assurance. Angels walk beside those whose eyes stay on the light because they know such souls will not be led astray. There is no darkness that can dominate a person who refuses to look away from God. You can be surrounded by chaos, but still see calm. You can be surrounded by decay, but still perceive renewal. Such is the power of enlightened vision. The angels are saying, your eyes are instruments of faith. They are not given merely to observe, but to activate. What you see inwardly creates what you experience outwardly. When you hold the image of peace within, even turmoil bends before you. When you envision abundance through faith, opportunities begin to align. When you perceive yourself through the eyes of God, insecurity dissolves. That is why the enemy fights to destroy your vision, because what you can no longer imagine, you can no longer manifest. Your eyes are sacred screens upon which divine images are projected. When you meditate on divine truths, those images take root and shape your destiny. Angels respond to such focus. They move according to vision. They carry out the intentions that match divine alignment. So when your eyes are fixed on what is holy, all of heaven collaborates to fulfill it. Guarding your eyes is not about fear, it is about focus. It is not about withdrawal, but about direction. You are called to look with a purpose, to see beyond temptation, beyond illusion, beyond limitation. The angels are guiding you toward mastery of your gaze, for he who controls his eyes controls his life. God will sometimes allow you to see what others cannot, not to boast, but to build. The angels may show you glimpses of your future, not so that you rush, but so that you prepare. When God grants vision, He also grants responsibility. The eyes that see deeply must also bear patiently. The angels stand near those who can hold the sight without pride, who can perceive greatness without arrogance. Be vigilant, for not every vision comes from light. There are deceptive images that mimic divine impressions. The angels are your allies in discernment. They whisper truths when falsehood try to masquerade as revelation. But they only speak clearly to hearts that stay humble. Humility polishes perception. Pride blinds it. The clearer your heart, the clearer your sight. God is calling you to be a steward of sight, to use your eyes as vessels of compassion, as mirrors of faith, as tools of service. Let your eyes see need and respond with generosity. Let them see suffering and respond with empathy. Let them see goodness and magnify. For when you see with love, you mirror the nature of God Himself, forever aware, ever merciful, ever guiding creation toward the light. The angels are alerting you not just to protect your eyes from harm, but to awaken their holy purpose. Your eyes were made to recognize divinity in the ordinary, to find God's beauty in the small, His presence in the unnoticed. Each sunrise, each act of kindness, each moment of stillness is a divine painting for those who truly see. The blind stare but never perceive. The awakened look and understand. The highest form of vision is not to see what others cannot, but to see what others ignore. To look at the same world, but behold deeper truth. The angels rejoice when your eyes reach that level of maturity, because then you become an instrument of peace. You start to reflect God's perspective on us to bring harmony where there was division, faith where there was fear, hope where there was despair. Remember this, the eyes are the architects of destiny. What you constantly gaze upon, you build toward. The angels are alerting because God is ready to construct something new in your life, but He cannot build it with an old vision. You must see differently to live differently. Your future is waiting at the edge of your perception. The moment you choose to see with faith rather than fear, creation begins to respond. Lift your gaze. See how the heavens declare the glory of God. See how every storm ends in light. See how every loss carries the seed of wisdom. The angels stand beside you, inviting you to open the eyes of your heart and perceive reality as God perceives it, filled with meaning, guided by purpose, sustained by divine love. The angels are alerting about your eyes because sight is sacred, protected, purified, elevated, and above all, use it to see the fingerprints of God everywhere you look. For when you finally behold the world through divine vision, you will realize nothing has been ordinary, nothing has been random, nothing has been wasted. Every sight, every season, every shadow was a step toward awakening the eyes of your soul. So now, beloved soul, hear this final word deep. Within your spirit, the angels are not just alerting you, they are awakening you. They are calling you to rise into a new level of awareness, a sacred depth of seeing. For your eyes were never meant to drift aimlessly through the illusions of this world. They were created to behold divine truth. God is commanding your vision to return to purity, to power, to purpose. You have looked long enough at what hurts you. Now it is time to look at what heals you. You have focused long enough on what ended. Now fix your eyes on what is beginning. The eyes of your soul are gateways to destiny. Guard them as you would guard treasure. Let nothing enter that diminishes your peace, and nothing distract you from your path. When your eyes stay on God, no shadow can overpower you, no lie can deceive you, and no fear can dominate you. The angels are surrounding you, whispering with urgency. See through faith, not fear. See through light, not darkness. See through truth, not illusion. For when your sight aligns with God, everything around you begins to align with grace. You start walking not by guesswork, but by revelation. You discern the invisible guidance woven through every delay, every disappointment, every detour. The world may see confusion, but you will see divine orchestration. The world may see endings, but you will see preparation. So lift up your eyes today. Let them rise above distraction, above pain, above appearances. Let them rest upon the majesty of God, the one who never sleeps, the one who guides you, the one who directs every step with purpose. The angels are already in motion, carrying light to those who dare to see differently. This is your moment to reclaim your vision. See yourself as God sees you, capable, chosen, surrounded by divine help. See your path not as chaos, but as construction. See your future not as uncertain, but as unfolding. See your trials not as punishment, but as preparation. For when you train your eyes to see with faith, you no longer stumble in darkness. You walk with quiet authority, guided by unseen hand. The angels go before you. The presence of God surrounds you. And your eyes now awaken, sanctify, and focused become the vessels through which light floods every part of your life. So let it be that from this moment forward, your gaze no longer wanders. Let your sight become sacred, your focus become firm, and your vision become victorious. For the angels have sounded their call, and God Himself is watching to see what your eyes will behold next. May they find the only light. There are things that only the chosen understand. There are secrets that cannot be spoken loudly because they are too holy, too powerful, and too sacred for common ears. You who are chosen by God must learn this truth. Not everyone can understand your calling. Not everyone deserves to hear what God whispered in your spirit. Some things are not meant to be shared, they are meant to be guarded. For when God selects a soul for divine purpose, He does not expose the blueprint of destiny to the crowd. He hides it deep within your heart and says, keep it until the time is right. Chosen one, you must keep this secret. When God chooses you, He places upon you a weight, a spiritual assignment so great that ordinary minds will never grasp it. They will question you, mock you, and misinterpret your silence. But that is because they do not see what you see. They do not hear what you hear. They do not walk where you walk. God is dealing with you in a private language that only your soul understands. And that language, that inner revelation, must not be shouted from the rooftops. It must be protected within the sacred chamber of your heart. Because once you expose divine instruction too soon, you invite interference, misunderstanding, and even sabotage. The secret is the shield of the chosen. The greatest mistake many chosen ones make is speaking before the time. They reveal the dream before it matures. They share the plan before it's sealed. And they invite voices that were never authorized to speak into their destiny. Do not tell everyone what God is doing in you. Do not announce every vision He plants in your spirit. There are things God will only entrust to you when He knows you can keep quiet. Because silence is not weakness, silence is strength. Silence is protection. Silence is obedience. The chosen learn to move in quiet power while others talk in loud confusion. The chosen let their results speak louder than their explanations. Understand this. When God begins to elevate you, not everyone will celebrate. Some will smile but secretly envy you. Some will pretend to support you but quietly plot against you. When the light of God shines upon you, darkness awakens in those who have hidden motives. That is why you must guard your secret. Protect the plan God gave you like a treasure. When others ask what you are working on, smile but stay silent. When they demand to know how you endure so much, lift your eyes to heaven and say, by the strength of God and nothing more. Because the secret of the chosen is that their strength comes from the unseen. Their power flows from prayer, not from performance. There will be moments when God isolates you. You will feel alone, misunderstood, even forgotten. But this isolation is divine. God hides you before He displays you. He separates you before He elevates you. He trains you in the secret place so that when He reveals you, no one can claim they made you. The secret seasons are sacred. They are not punishment, they are preparation. Every chosen one must pass through the school of silence, the wilderness of waiting, the chamber of hidden growth. While others run ahead to be seen, God keeps you hidden to be strengthened. Do not fight that. Embrace it. For the one who can keep God's secret can be trusted with God's power. There will be times when you want to explain yourself, when you want to defend your name, prove your worth, and clarify your intentions. But the chosen do not need validation. The chosen let God speak for them. When you speak too much, you drain your spiritual energy. When you stay silent, you allow God to act. You must learn the discipline of divine restraint. The world calls it silence. Heaven calls it wisdom. Your silence is not ignorance, it is strategy. Because when you reveal too much, you weaken your authority. But when you speak only when led by God, your words carry the weight of heaven. Chosen one, there are prayers that must remain between you and God alone. There are battles you must fight in secret. There are tears no one should see but God. There are victories no one should hear about until the right time. The strength of your journey lies in your ability to hide what God is doing until He says, now. The secret keeps you pure. The secret keeps you focused. The secret keeps you protected. Many have fallen not because the enemy was powerful, but because they exposed the divine information to human judgment. Do not let curiosity lead you to disobedience. Keep the mystery alive, because the mystery is where God works. When you are chosen, God will show you things in dreams, visions, and whispers that are not meant to be public. They are spiritual blueprints, heavenly codes, and divine instructions. You must not broadcast them to everyone who listens. Some will not believe you. Some will twist your words. Some will try to copy your calling. Guard your revelation with the discipline. Even when excitement fills your heart, learn to wait. God never rushes. He moves in perfect timing. The secret He gives you today is the foundation of your testimony tomorrow. Protect it until it grows into fruit that everyone can see. Do you know why God hides His chosen ones? Because destiny needs darkness to develop. Just as a seed cannot grow under open sunlight before it roots itself deep in the soil, so must your purpose remain underground before it blossoms. The soil is your secret. It's the place where God shapes you, refines you, and prepares you. Others may mock you for being unseen, but you are not forgotten. You are planted. And when the time comes, God Himself will cause you to rise, strong, radiant, and unstoppable. Until then, hold your secret like sacred fire, not to be displayed, but to be preserved. Chosen one, God is teaching you to trust Him more than people. Because when you speak too soon, you make room for opinions that can pollute your faith. People cannot always handle the magnitude of what God is doing in you. Their minds are limited. Their perspectives are narrow. But God's plan is infinite. What seems impossible to others is natural to Him. That is why He keeps His best work hidden, because only He understands its depth. So when you feel misunderstood, rejoice. When people walk away because you stopped explaining yourself, smile. For it means God is drawing you into deeper secrecy, deeper intimacy with Him alone. The secret is your protection. It is your spiritual armor. When you live in constant explanation, you expose your spirit to judgment and envy. But when you live in quiet confidence, you create a shield around your purpose. Let your progress be silent. Let your growth be unannounced. Let your transformation surprise those who doubted you. The chosen do not announce. They emerge. They do not seek applause. They seek approval from God alone. Every time you stay silent when you could boast, heaven records it as humility. And humility is what keeps the hand of God upon you. Remember this, revelation without timing is destruction. Even if you know what God will do, you must wait for when He will do it. Timing is everything in the realm of the chosen. Speak too soon and you risk losing divine momentum. Speak too late and you may miss the window of a manifestation. But when you stay tuned to God's timing, when you guard His secrets until He releases you, everything flows in perfect harmony. Do not try to convince anyone to believe in what God told you. You are not required to be understood. You are required to be faithful. And faithfulness often looks like a silence to the world. Sometimes your silence will confuse those around you. They will call you distant, mysterious, or strange. But what they call strange, heaven calls sacred. What they call secretive, heaven calls obedient. You are not here to fit in. You are here to fulfill purpose. Let them talk. You keep walking. Let them speculate. You keep praying. Let them guess. You keep guarding what God deposited in your spirit. Because every chosen one must learn to live in divine confidentiality. The more God trusts you with silence, the greater the revelation He gives you in private. When you pray, do not always ask God to reveal His plan to others. Ask Him to strengthen your ability to carry it in secret. The secret place is where spiritual authority is born. When God sees that you can protect these mysteries, He begins to trust you with the greater things. Many people want to hear God's voice, but few are ready to handle what He says. Because revelation comes with a responsibility. When God speaks, He expects silence until He commands action. That silence is not emptiness, it's alignment. It means your heart and His are beating in the same rhythm. There will be seasons when God blesses you in ways that others cannot comprehend. You will experience favor that seems unreasonable, doors that open without explanation, and opportunities that defy logic. Do not explain it. Do not justify it. Just give glory to God in secret. Because when you try to explain spiritual favor to those with a carnal mind, you only invite confusion. Some blessings are meant to be displayed, others are meant to be hidden. Let your gratitude be louder than your announcements. Let your worship be stronger than your explanations. The chosen learn to celebrate silently. The more God uses you, the more you must learn discretion. Because visibility is vulnerability. The higher God takes you, the more careful you must be about who you trust, what you reveal, and where you speak. Some people are not enemies, but they are not ready to handle your truth. Love them, but protect your purpose. Respect them, but guard your revelation. Even when God performs miracles in your life, discern when to testify and when to stay quiet. Testimony has timing. Every secret will have its day of unveiling, but let God decide that day, not your emotions. When people ask how you remain so peaceful, how you endure so much without breaking, just smile. Because the secret of your strength is not in what they see, it's in who sustains you. God has become your foundation, your voice, your region, your breath. You no longer need the validation of the world because you have the approval of heaven. You are not sustained by applause, but by alignment. The chosen do not depend on recognition. They depend on revelation. The secret is that Your power comes from surrender, from walking so closely with God that your silence becomes your weapon. Every chosen soul will one day face betrayal. Someone will misuse your trust, twist your words, or expose what you said in confidence. But do not let that wound you. God allowed it to train you. Betrayal is a part of the molding of the chosen. It teaches you that your secret belongs to God alone. You cannot share divine secrets with untested hearts. That's why God allows disappointment to sharpen your discernment. Learn to give your silence away once you gave your words. Learn to pray instead of explain. Learn to let God handle what your mouth once tried to defend. The chosen must also understand that their silence is not passive, it is prophetic. When you refuse to react, you are declaring that your confidence is not in man, but in God. When you stay calm while others gossip, you are demonstrating trust in divine justice. Your stillness is a statement of faith. It says, I know God is fighting for me. You don't have to prove yourself when heaven has already approved you. You don't have to expose others when God will reveal everything in His own time. The chosen walk with quiet authority, unshaken, unbothered, unstoppable. God will sometimes test you by revealing small secrets to see if you can keep them. If you cannot handle silence, you cannot handle revelation. The chosen are trained in secrecy before being trusted with glory. You must learn to hold divine information without letting curiosity or pride make you speak. When you can protect what God shows you in private, He will begin to use you publicly. But if you rush to announce every divine whisper, He will withdraw until you learn restraint. Because revelation and maturity go hand in hand. Do you want to be trusted by God? Then become silent before Him. When others run to speak, learn to listen. When others boast of their visions, hide yours in prayer. When others seek to impress, seek to obey. Your strength lies in your stillness. The chosen are not loud. They are deep. They carry secrets that the world cannot interpret. They are misunderstood because their lives are written in divine code. You must accept that not everyone will understand you, and that is okay. You are not here to be understood. You are here to fulfill divine purpose. There will be moments when your secret burns inside you, when the weight of what God showed you feels too great to carry alone. In those moments, don't run to people, run to God. Pour out your heart before Him. He is the only one worthy of hearing it. He understands every unspoken thought, every silent tear, every private struggle. He is your confidant, your shield, your secret keeper. And the more you trust Him with your silence, the more He trusts you with His mysteries. When God chooses you, He does not announce it to the world. He confirms it in your spirit. You feel it in the way your heart begins to reject what others accept. You feel it in the way you can no longer enjoy what once entertained you. You feel it in your sleepless nights when something divine burns within you, whispering that you were made for something greater. That whisper is not madness, it is destiny calling. And the secret of that calling is too sacred to expose to people who are still trying to understand their own lives. The chosen must learn to live with divine restraint, because when you speak too soon, you give room for the wrong voices to enter your sacred assignment. Chosen one, the power of your life is not in how much you reveal, but in how much you conceal until the right time. God hides His treasures until they are ready. The sun does not appear instantly, it rises gradually. In the same way, your purpose is not meant to explode overnight. It is meant to unfold in divine rhythm. You must keep quiet while God works beneath the surface. People may call your stillness stagnation, but it is actually divine strategy. Every moment of silence is a seed. Every unspoken word is a weapon. Every secret you protect becomes a shield around your destiny. Do not let impatience destroy what God is building. The chosen are often tempted to prove themselves, to show their worth, to display their progress. But those who truly walk with God know that the loudest victories are those that happen in silence. The moment you start explaining everything, you lose your spiritual covering. Let God speak through your results, not your reports. When the fruit appears, you will not need to explain the seed. When the promise manifests, you will not need to defend the process. God Himself will vindicate you. There is divine power in mystery. God moves through hiddenness because hiddenness protects holiness. The more sacred something is, the more concealed it must be. Think of how the most precious jewels are buried deep in the earth. The deeper they are hidden, the greater their value. So it is with you. You are hidden because you are valuable. You are not overlooked. You are protected. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. The world may not see your preparation, but heaven does. And when the time comes, God will lift the veil and show what He has been shaping in secret. Be careful whom you allow to see your process. Not every listener is a believer. Some want information to help you. Others want information to harm you. This is why God wants His chosen ones to discern the company they keep. You must not speak divine plans in casual conversations. You must not expose your prayer life to curious minds. You must not allow people with worldly perspectives to analyze heavenly matters. There are things only God can understand, and you must keep them between you and Him. Chosen one, the greatest revelations often come when no one is watching. God does His best work when you are alone with Him. That is why your solitude is sacred. Do not rush out of it. Do not despise it. When you are hidden, God is speaking. When you are silent, God is shaping. When you are still, God is strengthening. The quiet seasons of your life are not empty. They are pregnant with divine purpose. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust that every moment of obscurity is preparation for manifestation. Your secret is not weakness, it is warfare. It is your spiritual strategy against premature exposure. The enemy cannot attack what he does not know. The moment you speak your secret carelessly, you open a door for interference. Guard your plans in prayer. Guard your thoughts in stillness. Guard your dreams in the safety of your spirit. Even your tears are sacred. Let them fall before God alone. Let your pain be seen only by the one who understands it fully. There is healing in hiddenness. There is power in privacy. There is victory in silence. Do not be deceived by the noise of the world. In this age of constant exposure, where everyone wants to show what they are doing, the chosen must walk differently. You do not need to announce your growth, your success, or your intimacy with God. True power never advertises itself. True authority moves quietly. God does not thunder every moment, He whispers. And the chosen must learn that same holy restraint, to move with confidence, not noise, with wisdom, not haste, with a purpose, not pride. When God gives you vision, protect it like a seed planted in your soul. A seed does not survive if it is dug up every day to show others. You must let it grow underground where no eye can see. That is how faith works. Faith does not need applause, it needs patience. While others look for recognition, you must look for revelation. The chosen are not driven by validation from people, they are driven by instruction from God. Keep the instruction pure, keep the secret safe, because what God has for you is too sacred to be shared before it's time. Sometimes God will even silence your spirit. You will feel as though you cannot speak, as though words are trapped within you. Do not force expression when God has ordained silence. That divine restriction is not punishment, it is a preservation. He is teaching you that some things must be protected until they are matured. You cannot birth the revelation before it's time. The chosen must learn the rhythm of heaven, a rhythm that moves slower than the world, but far deeper in meaning. There is a holiness in holding back. There is reverence in waiting. When you protect what God is doing within you, you honor His process. The impatient reveal, the wise conceal, the impulsive expose, the faithful preserve. You must become so spiritually mature that your peace is not disturbed by not being understood. Let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. Let them wonder. While they talk, you build. While they guess, you grow. While they question, you pray. That is the secret life of the chosen. Never allow the desire to be seen to destroy what God is building in the unseen. Many lose divine favor because they exchange secrecy for visibility. They reveal the blueprint too soon. They announce the miracle before it fully forms. They speak the prophecy before it manifests. And when opposition rises, they are unprepared because they shared prematurely. The chosen must learn that not all good news should be broadcasted, and not every blessing must be explained. Some victories belong only between you and God. The chosen are misunderstood because they live from a deeper place. They make decisions that don't make sense to others. They walk away from things others chase. They stay silent in situations where others would argue. That silence is not passivity, it is dominion. It is the authority of one who knows that God controls outcomes. You do not need to win arguments when God is your defender. You do not need to prove your worth when your worth is already established in heaven. The moment you understand that, you stop explaining yourself to those who were never meant to understand your journey. There are people who will never recognize the anointing on your life because they are too familiar with your humanity. That is why God keeps you silent in their presence. If you speak too much, they will misinterpret divine wisdom as arrogance. If you reveal too much, they will turn your prophecy into gossip. Silence protects you from the immature. The chosen must learn to communicate less and discern more. Every conversation is an exchange of energy. Guard yours wisely. Chosen one, your silence is not empty, it is a declaration of trust. It says, I do not need to control what God already controls. It says, I am safe even when I am unseen. It says, I believe in divine timing more than human approval. When you choose silence over argument, you are telling God, I trust you to reveal the truth. And He will. God will always vindicate the one who keeps their heart pure and their mouth closed. There will come a time when the secret you kept will become the testimony that inspires many, but it will only happen when the process is complete. God reveals outcomes, not drafts. He presents finished works, not unfinished stories. That is why He hides you while He perfects you. The longer He hides you, the greater the unveiling will be. Do not fight the hidden season. Embrace it as evidence that something magnificent is growing within you. You must also understand that every chosen soul carries a secret pain. That pain is the pressure of divine formation. It is the tension of being between promise and fulfillment. You cannot explain it to others because they will not understand. So you carry it quietly. You pray when no one sees. You weep when no one hears. You worship when no one applauds. That is how God molds you into a vessel of depth and power. The pain is not punishment. It is preparation. The chosen are pressed privately so that they can shine publicly. Be careful not to confuse exposure with elevation. Not every spotlight comes from God. Some lights blind. Only God's light refines. The world offers visibility. God offers purpose. Choose purpose. Choose silence over show. Choose depth over display. The chosen are not meant to chase attention. They are meant to carry presence. And the presence of God rests upon those who can be trusted to keep His secrets. When you can live without explaining yourself, you have reached a level of spiritual maturity few ever attain. You no longer need people to understand you because you have a peace with God. You no longer chase validation because you have a vision. You no longer fear being misunderstood because you are anchored in divine purpose. This is the true power of the chosen, to walk in quiet confidence, to act without announcing, to move with divine certainty that God's plan will unfold exactly as intended. There will be days when you feel like speaking, when silence feels like suffocation. In those moments, remember, even silence speaks to God. Every unspoken word becomes a prayer. Every restrained thought becomes an offering. Every withheld explanation becomes a sacrifice of obedience. God hears what you do not say. He sees the strength it takes to stay silent, and He rewards it with a deeper revelation and higher discernment. There will come a time, chosen one, when the silence you kept will not just protect you, it will define you. It will become the mark of your wisdom, the evidence of your spiritual maturity. You will look back and realize that every moment you stayed silent was a moment of divine discipline. God was teaching you how to operate in wisdom rather than emotion. He was training you to respond to spiritual things spiritually, not through the weakness of human impulse. The chosen are not reactionary, they are revelatory. They move when God says move. And they speak only when the Spirit within them confirms the timing. God hides power behind restraint. Those who cannot control their tongue cannot carry divine authority. The moment you speak without guidance, you expose what God meant to protect. The chosen must become guardians of divine speech, carriers of holy discretion. You cannot reveal what has not been authorized. You cannot share what has not been sealed. God gives you insight, not to boast, but to build. Some revelations are meant to be prayed through, not spoken aloud. Some instructions are meant to be followed in silence, not shared with spectators. Do you know why God trusts only few with deep mysteries? Because only the few can carry them without pride. When you know something divine, when you've heard a whisper from eternity, it is easy to feel superior to others. But that is not the way of the chosen. The chosen understand that revelation is not for exaltation, it is for execution. You were not shown so you could shine. You were shown so you could serve. And those who serve God must learn to do it quietly, faithfully, and without seeking attention. God elevates those who can walk in secrecy without losing humility. The proud want to be seen, the wise want to be effective. The proud crave acknowledgement, the wise crave alignment. When you understand that your purpose is sacred, you no longer need validation. You no longer chase recognition because your reward is not found in applause, it is found in the quiet satisfaction of obedience. Every hidden act of faith, every silent prayer, every unseen sacrifice, God records it all. And when the time is right, He rewards openly what was done in secret. Chosen one, you must understand that even your pain is part of the secret plan. The tears you shed in the dark, the battles you fight in silence, the storms you endure alone, all of this divine preparation. God does not expose your struggles to embarrass you. He conceals them to empower you. You may think your suffering is unseen, but it is in those very moments of isolation that heaven leans closest. God is nearest to the ones who trust Him in silence. Your pain is the proof of your preparation, and your restraint is the proof of your readiness. Sometimes God will strip away every audience so you can learn that His approval is enough. When no one applauds you, He will. When no one notices your effort, He sees. When no one understands your silence, He knows why you kept it. The chosen must learn to live for the unseen applause of heaven. Because when your loyalty shifts from people to God, you enter a different level of spiritual authority. You no longer depend on the world to define you. You become unshakable, untouchable, and unstoppable, not because of pride, but because of trust. The secret you keep is a covenant between you and God. When you protect it, you are saying, God, I trust you even when I don't understand. I trust you even when I can't explain. Every act of silence becomes an act of worship. Every moment of restraint becomes a declaration of faith. You are saying, I believe your timing is perfect. I believe your ways are higher. That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of trust invites divine favor. There are many who start with passion but lose power because they cannot stay silent. They rush ahead of God's timing, revealing what was meant to be hidden. They expose divine plans to unspiritual listeners, and what was sacred becomes contaminated by doubt. But the chosen know that not everything seen should be spoken, and not everything spoken should be repeated. You must be a vault of divine wisdom, sealed, disciplined, and strong. Only then can God entrust you with deeper revelations. When God whispers something to your spirit, it is not meant for debate, it is meant for destiny. You must guard divine whispers like a holy fire. Keep them in your soul until the moment of manifestation. The world will see the fruit, but they will never know the root. That's the power of the chosen. The ability to endure in secrecy until God says, now. When the now of God comes, no power in heaven or on earth can stop what He has prepared. But before the now, there must be silence. There will be voices that tempt you to speak before time, People will ask questions you are not meant to answer. They will pressure you to explain what God has not yet revealed. Resist that temptation. The chosen are not obligated to explain divine timing. They are called to obey it. You don't owe anyone an explanation for what God is doing in you. You owe God your obedience, your faith, and your silence. The less you explain, the more peace you preserve. Sometimes your silence will frustrate others because it reveals their impatience. Let it. When they cannot understand your quiet confidence, they will misinterpret it as pride. But it is not pride, it is peace. The chosen walk with an assurance that does not require explanation. You don't need to prove your relationship with God. Your life will prove it. You don't need to convince others of your calling. Your fruit will testify of it. The chosen don't waste words defending themselves. They conserve energy for divine purpose. So, chosen one, keep walking with a quiet strength. Let others chase attention. You chase alignment. Let others reveal their plans. You protect yours. Let others speak. You listen. For in your silence, God is speaking. In your restraint, He is releasing. In your obedience, He is preparing to unveil what no one has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no heart has yet imagined. You are not forgotten. You are hidden. You are not ignored. You are being refined. You are not delayed. You are being prepared. The secret you keep is the foundation of the destiny you will live. Guard it with all your heart. Protect it with all your strength. For in the silence of the chosen, God is crafting greatness that will one day speak louder than any words ever could.